Last but not least, I would like to thank personally to the man who never lost his hopes in a better world, Mr. Stanislav.
Self-appointed preservers of the purity of science, a group of very traditional academicians. This is an award which is called Delusional Boulder, and the group calls itself Sisyphus Club. And basically the Mock Award is an expression of a compassion with somebody who spent decades working hard and came up with something that doesn't make any sense to reasonable people. Sorry, this is... So that kind of pattern of this linear drive into the future, it's not much result. This is what Joseph Campbell called getting to the top of the ladder and finding that it's against the wrong wall. And this kind of pattern is replaced by something that resembles more what's called Wu Wei in Taoism, usually translated as creative quietude or doing by being, where there is more of a sense of watching, like martial arts, when you watch which direction the energies are going, how you fit into it, and then you are willing to sort of change the direction when the energy changes. And this is then cooperative effort where when we achieve something, it also satisfies other people. It's not, there are no winners and losers. And what happens with this pattern is that synchronicities appear, that suddenly the right kind of people show up, the right kind of information shows up, sometimes even money shows up. So this is the change of strategy of life that appears in people who have done some significant amount of work on themselves.
Of understanding all things through human reason. All of these represent this kind of solar heroic movement towards greater freedom, autonomy, rising above nature, predicting it, controlling it. And the Copernican revolution itself, we think about that set in motion this sense of our no longer being the center of the universe. But why is it that when you listen to most modern philosophers or scientists talk about the Copernican revolution and how we are the one mode of thinkers that recognize that we are really in this decentered position in the cosmos, and that we have transcended that illusory sense of being central, anthropocentric delusion of all other cultures and religions and civilizations. Why is it that they don't sound, why do they sound rather and act as our civilization has, more anthropocentrically than traditional cultures and indigenous cultures? I believe it's because the modern mind identified with the sun, the solar logos that shines its light of reason above the earth, above nature, above the body, understands it to be able to predict it and control it. And it didn't get decentered. In some sense, we decathected from the earth and centered in our minds, and we kind of introjected the divine mind.
Eigentlich müsste man, wenn man ein Mystiker genannt wird, sagen, nein, 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 aber das sage ich keineswegs, denn meine Überzeugung ist, dass jeder Mensch ein Mystiker ist. Der Mystiker ist nicht ein ganz besonderer Mensch, sondern jeder Mensch ist ein ganz besonderer Mystiker.
So it's transpersonal.ru complete video archive. I put something like 400 transpersonal videos. Site for the conference EUROTAS2018.com will start working, and you can apply for participation, and new information will update.
There is something in this total, that's my sense, that's my feeling, in this totality which we call universe, which is something like a consciousness operating, unfolding, and the sort of thing that Chris is talking about, when Paulus personifies this. The universe as such seems to have a voluntary aspect, a will, something that is evolving, something that wants to manifest itself. And perhaps, if you find what it wants to manifest, perhaps we can align ourselves with it, and perhaps we'll find out the meaning of our life.
Exactly. I think that's the bridge. That's the bridge between purpose in the universe and the meaning of life. If there is purpose in the universe, the meaning of human life somehow, in different ways, in infinite ways, might lead to align oneself with that purpose, right? So that's the bridge between those interventions. And I know you wanted to go, so go on. And then you. Yes.
So I wanted to add the wrinkle. The wrinkle here is about the notion of unfolding, of evolution, of purpose, assumes that time is something. And we already know very clearly that there are aspects of reality which are beyond space-time. So if you imagine a consciousness, even our own consciousness, there's a lot of evidence that we can transcend space-time. The universe presumably could do that too, in which case we don't have language to be able to discuss what it means to have meaning or purpose when there is no space or time. Right? You can't talk about meaning or direction of purpose if there is no time in which it's taking place, because it has already happened, or the future is affecting the present. Their language fails in being able to even express what we're talking about.
The purpose beyond space-time expresses itself in space-time. And you can say it's a manifestation of that purpose, which is beyond. We only know it through its manifestation. We don't know it directly because it's beyond space-time, but we know its manifestation. And then we can conclude that there is a manifestation of purpose. And therefore we conclude that is something that creates that manifestation. It's an ampliative inference, obviously, but it's necessary if we want to have any possible answer to the question, is there purpose in the universe?
But this is a valid question, because this is the ultimate Vedantic position. the Vedantic position is that, more explicit terms, that there are two levels of the ultimate reality. And the lower level of it, we can still put qualifications to the totality. And so long as we put qualifications, then of course physical laws apply, quantum physics applies, and what Arvind just said applies, and indeed the unmanifest, when it manifests with the purpose of manifestation itself of all its potentialities, and we can make gradations, and interesting questions would be like what is beyond the archetypes and so forth. But there is also a place where Vedanta says that it cannot be refuted by any kind of logic except maybe one, which I will present to you. But the logic of Vedanta is simply that, look, there is also beyond that, because take all qualifications away. Then what happens? Then you really are beyond space and time. Time does not exist even as a parameter. You cannot even mention space and time, physical laws, nothing, and then purposiveness disappears. It does. I mean, you cannot refute that. I have tried thousands of hours thinking about this problem, and it is very difficult to find a solution except one. We must not talk about it.
Didn't you remember? We're the mother. We're the ones that birthed this place. We're the ones that birthed all of you. We birthed all of you. And not to give us a seat up here is really, really ballsy. It's ballsy. And you especially, my good friend right there, he knows more than any of you guys up there. That man knows which side of the bread the butter is on. Okay? I don't have any more to say, but I'm one of the biggest mothers out here. I birthed thousands, and not one of my baby girls is up there. Next.
Can I say something? Because
to formal news from you men to give up the chair. And please, women, take the chair. And feel it. Everybody feel it. You're changing something. I really think you don't have to leave. You can stand. You can stand, you don't have to leave, but it's nice look. It's good? So one more. Women, men, women, men, women, women, women. How is it now? And it can change. Didn't take much, does it? Please feel it. Thank you so much that you allow me to do this. This is what I do and this is what I love. Just changing something. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you.
Individually, but it should not be disconnected from the collective. As the Dalai Lama says, we have to start where we are. We have to start by working within ourselves. He says that the deep causes of the collapse of the biosphere come from inside the human mind.
researcher in Zurich at the University of Zurich who works actually at the Berkholtzy Clinic where Carl Jung worked is Franz Vollenweider, who since the early 90s has done really wonderful work delineating the range of effects on the central nervous system of various psychedelics. So you see on over here the normal brain, the pre-induction of psychedelic experience brain, and then on the other side, that's actually your brain on drugs. Don't listen to those TV commercials with the fried egg. This is your brain on drugs, and you just see the areas are lighting up, increased activity in the frontal medial portion of the brain, the anterior cingulates, and so forth. So I should also mention some very good new work coming out of Imperial College London, looking at the default mode mechanism and the impact there. So the London crew, along with the Zurich crew, are making notable advances in helping us to understand the range of effects on the central nervous system of various psychedelics. A study published in 2006 in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry by Francisco Moreno at the University of Arizona looked at treatment of obsessive-compulsive disorder, again, one of the most difficult areas for contemporary psychiatry, and he found what he described as acute, robust, positive change, calling for follow-up. There have been no follow-up studies with OCD, but it's certainly called for. Some work at Hopkins, the Hopkins team looking with normal volunteer subjects, were able to establish that psilocybin could reliably evoke mystical level experiences which had profound effects on sense of peace, harmony, mood. And what's important here is just this reliable and replicability of the effect, that we have a mechanism by which, or a method by which we can induce the mystical experience through the judicious use of psilocybin in a therapeutic setting. Here's some of the Hopkins data. You can just simply see there. It was a placebo-controlled study. Their control was methylphenidate or Ritalin. And you can see, other than talkativeness, which Ritalin seems to be more associated with, the other measures, the emotive measures, peace, harmony, joy, happiness, emotion, were far greater to be observed with under the influence of psilocybin.
Caiu, cai na